So I recently just finished shooting and editing a short social commercial or branded content for Guayaki Yerba Mate, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about the process today and what went into creating this commercial, from the concept to shooting it to editing it. So yeah, let's jump into it. So initially I pitched the idea to Guayaki and basically said, okay, so basically climbing and yerba mate. Okay, cool, let's do it. And they liked it and approved it, but we didn't really have an idea of what specific direction we were going to go in. So basically I sat in a room with some friends and we brainstormed an idea, and eventually someone came up and mentioned the idea of will belay for beer concept, which is a pretty common concept in the climbing community, but we thought we could play on it and change it to will belay for yerb. And so that's basically how the concept started. And that's pretty much all the idea we had going into the shoot. We just had a cardboard sign with that written on it, and basically I was just planning on running and gunning all the shooting and just making it up as I went. So I shot listed a few ideas a little bit, but basically it was just going for it. So this takes us to the specific shooting aspect of the commercial, and we were in Joshua Tree National Park, and only a couple of the shots in this commercial were actually staged, and basically I just set them up super quickly. So I had my tripod, a camera monitor, and a couple friends to act for me, and basically I just had on one side some black fabric to act as some negative fill to add some more contrast into the shadow side of the face. And initially I tried to have some diffusion over the sunny side to add a bit of a softer look on the key side, but the diffusion I had just wasn't big enough and wasn't working, so we ended up just getting rid of that and using just the full-on sunlight, which ended up working pretty well because it was soft light at the end of the day. But that's all that I did in terms of lighting. And also, if you watch these shots in horizontal mode, it's kind of funny because it was actually meant for a social network for Instagram Reels, and so it's vertical framing, and you can see on either side of the frame, of course, we have all the people in the shot that aren't supposed to be in the final product. So I just cut those edges off in post, and I actually find that in shooting in 4K, just cropping into the middle of the frame is good enough quality, so I don't actually shoot vertically a lot of the time, which is kind of interesting, but I found it works. So in this specific location, I just grabbed a few of the shots meant to tell the beginning of the story and the motivation of the story and the commercial. And I had this cool shot where someone's shadow comes over the face and they look over to it. I thought that turned out really well, and a couple more simple shots just to establish our location and concept. And for the rest of the shots, I just went around and filmed my friends climbing and having a good time during the day. And it was enough content and around the same theme that I needed, and it worked perfectly. When it comes to the editing of this video, it was pretty straightforward. I did a couple little fancy color things with keyframes and whatnot, but generally it was pretty straightforward. But one of the big challenges when working with content creation for brands is you usually have to use royalty-free music, like in this one, and that can really be a big challenge. But luckily I use Artlist, which is a channel sponsor, and if you want to check them out, link is below. You can get 2 months free. But using Artlist made it pretty easy for me to find a song that fit the theme of the video accurately and was able to propel the story forward in a very short time. But yeah, basically that's the whole gist of this short project. It's super fun to work with cool clients like this one that are very open to allowing you to get creative with your ideas, and I can't wait to do more projects like it. Anyway, that was just a quick look at the behind the scenes of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you all next time.
I love Yerba Mate by Guayaki.